Hey guys, it is me Simone, and in this video we're going to talk about how you can turn your just basic general stamps into Christmas stamps for your Christmas crafting. So let's talk about this. So I have a couple stamps here I'm going to show you, and I thought about this idea a little bit later. So I went through my stash, I found this background stamp, very pretty. It's just detailed flowers. That's nothing Christmas about this. You know, you put some pink on here, make a nice Mother's Day card. But I wanted to see if I could try to make it look Christmassy. See, I'm always dropping something. So what I did is I stamped this baby off with some VersaFine ink. I'm trying VersaFine now. I use the Michaels clear one that's like really looking nasty and it works fine. It's just you have to keep refilling it every time you use it. If you don't use it like consistently back to back, it dries itself out, so I don't really like that. So I did that. I used just some very fine embossing powder. I don't know the brand, I kind of just keep it in these little tubes, containers, and I embossed it, and I went over with the scrapbook.com hybrid Caribbean ink. And here are my examples of what I came up with. So this nice card, there is a design here. I just swiped it over and I used this little llama stamp. I'll show you all the stamp at the end, and one of the sentiments that came from the stamp. Some gold ribbon, gold glitter ribbon, and then some sequins from my stash. And I popped the llama up on a pop on some foam. The next one I have this one. Same deal, different shape. I use silver ribbon, glitter ribbon, and then a sequence, and the sentiment from the stamp set. Then I want to make it non-Christmassy. I can. So I cut it at diagonal. I have this peacock. I use one of the sentiments from the stamp set. And then I'm like, oh, let me make a tag. So I made a tag using the leftover piece. This is like just part of the hexagon, or what's that, pentagon that I cut out. I used part of that to get us a nice little slope in this tag, and then a little sentiment from the stamp set. All these are done with just one single sheet. I did a pretty large sheet of embossing, but it shows you can make this little beautiful lined flower stamp into what you want. So all I did, and we're going to use a different color because I want to. So I'm going to use, don't I have another color I could use? This is green one. Let me see what color I'm going to try now. Pine. Do I have a pine? Where's my pine? Here's pine. So all I did with my pine, my ink, this is a scrapbook.com hybrid ink, as I struggle to get the lid off. I get the ink pad and I just wipe it. This is hybrid ink, so it does dry pretty quickly. That's all I did to this. You can use a water soluble ink. I'm just using this ink pad. Why? Because it was close to me. It was on my desk still from me making my other video. Alright, after I do that, I'm going to get like we can do a paper towel. I just have this stamp cleaner, and I'm just going to wipe it off all the extra ink that is on top of the embossing. I have to get my hand stand with this and just dry it. I'm using a heated tool from Ranger so I don't melt my embossing powder. Remelt it. Okay. Now I'm still gonna stain the embossing powder a little bit, the lines a little bit, but you see how nice it looks. and you just see the nice white lines. You can cut this into different patterns and make a tag or a card or whatever. So I can get my hexagon, I just had it on my desk still, cut it up, and I can make another Christmas card. Or you can even do this into, you can cut a Christmas tree shape out of this and put it on a card. And put a little llama on the thing. I don't think I have a Christmas tree. I have these 2 Christmas trees in my collection. I'm going to cut them out on this paper real quick, and so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So you can see my Christmas trees. See how nice? I think they look really cool. You can kind of see the lines going through them in the green. I love the pine color. And then our sheet that we cut out of looks like this. And so you see how nice that design looks. You can pop this up and put this on a card and make a shaker, have like a little sequence falling in the back if you so choose to, and put a sentiment on it. So we're going to speed up the video real quick. I'm going to assemble these 2 cards, and then we're going to come back in the video and I'm going to talk to you guys. Okay, so let's get started. So let's get started. Right now I'm going to go through and cut down 1 more card base and score them. I'm using my Weird Memory Keeper's large scoring tool. I just had it on hand. I can't find my smaller ones at this moment in time, and it does come in handy a lot. Makes the job a lot quicker, I feel. So I'm going to start off with this Christmas tree one. At first, I was just going to put the Christmas trees down, pop one of them up on foam tape. I'm going to use the green one. At first, I was going to use the first one that was near me, which was the yellow, but I didn't want it to peek through. And I was going to add sentiment, and you'll see I'm actually going to glue everything down. I liked how it looked. But at the last minute, I decided to add a little more background. So I'm going to get this scene builder stencil that I have from AliExpress. And I'm going to use my oval makeup brush blending tools that I showed you in my whole video about. And I'll leave it below or link at the end of the video for you guys. And so first I was going to use the scrapbook.com hybrid Caribbean ink, but I didn't like it too much. So I'm going to go and get some distressed inks. I'm going to use Salty Ocean at the end, but at first I wanted to see if I liked using Cracked Pistachio. I have a scrap piece of paper that I'm testing the colors out on and seeing what I like. At first I liked it, but taking a second glance, I didn't like it through the stencil, so I changed it up. And I'm just switching different sides of the stencil to make different hills and valleys and dips. It's supposed to like represent like a very icy hills or something, or how sometimes snow glistens, I don't know, in the sunlight. Don't ask me. I'm just kind of playing around. And I was going to at a point in time going to add the Victorian Velvets just as ink, but I did not like it. So I did move on because I was going to do like a nice dark Christmas sky, but I changed my mind. Just keep it white. So now I'm going to use my glitter glue and use the smaller trees in the back and the bigger trees up front to add more depth to the card. And I'm just cutting them to make sure they look like they're growing off the hills and everything like that. And I'm going to cut out another Christmas tree out of the bigger ones. Right now you saw me kind of finishing up blow drying the foam. I learned this trick kind of just like wanted to see what would happen. So I just blow dry it with my Ranger heated tool just for a couple of seconds, very brief. And I noticed that when you do that, it does shrink the foam a little bit so it doesn't peek out the edges. And of course it works when you use a foam that's similar to the color that you're using. And so this technique works amazing. I definitely recommend it. So I'm just going to correct it. I was going to have it small at first, but I decided to make it taller at the end and let that card dry and move on to my next card. So I'm going to use this thing. I'm going to trim it down a little bit so I have some of the white of the card peeking through. Just kind of figuring out where I wanted to cut that, making sure it's even and everything. But this card takes literally no time at all to do. And this process, you can make 2 cards every time you do this process of embossing the paper, inking over it, and cutting trees out or whatever image you want. I'm real quick trying to plug up my heat gun, and I'm going to get some tulle and make a shaker pocket. I love using tulle because it's just so easy, and I have a lot of it.
I'm using this glitter tool from Joann's, and I'm going to make a pocket. So just folding them over, and we're just going to put hot glue on the edges so it's a little harder to see. At first, I was going to use confetti sequins, but I changed my mind. I'm going to use fake snow that I got from Dollar Tree. You can do whatever. I just have a lot more fake snow than I have of this beautiful sequence. So I thought, why not? And I thought it would make a little more sense, but you can do whatever. You can do both too. But as I say, this is an easy process. You can make several of these cards. So every time you do this process, you can make 2 cards. It would go by pretty quickly. I did bring down a popsicle stick to help me with the glue to smear it really thin, but I ended up not using it. I just used the tip of the hot glue gun to kind of press it down a little bit and make it very thin, but still make sure I had enough on it that it made the pocket and sealed it correctly. And this hot glue gun is from Tuesday Morning. It's a hot and cool tip hot glue gun. I personally love this. I just need to get more what's it called? Regular size glue sticks to refill it. So I'm gonna trim that off the camera and move on to adding the snow. This is a messy process because this fake snow is very staticky. So this was a process because it ended up spilling a little bit um, and having to scrape it. I think it's so funny how it just feels like right off camera. You guys can't even see it. I kind of see how I liked it, and then I wanted to add a little bit more to it. And then I'm going to seal up this pocket and add some foam to certain parts to pop it up a little bit because I don't want to hot glue it to the paper directly because it's gonna be bulky and weird looking. So I want to make sure it pops up so it doesn't look too weird with the fake snow in the back. And whatever foam that I had near me, I'm just doing very thin strips, and I think it turned out really well. I'm just using the foam from the little piece I cut for the tree, so I don't waste foam. I really need to get those silicone finger protectors because this is sometimes a scary process for me. I hate burning myself. You know, you get used to it, but you still don't want to do it. So I'm just gonna glue everything down and precision it. So now it's the sentiments. Um, I was gonna use this stamp, but I realized there's no sentiments, no Christmas sentiments on it. So I'm gonna go get one of my stamps that I got from AliExpress like a month or two ago. That's Christmas themed, and I'm gonna use that sentiment stamp to add the sentiments to this. So I think I'm using Jolly Wishes or something like that for the tree one. No, for this one, and I'm gonna use a different one. The one I have, the other AliExpress stamp that I'll show you in the video for the trees on the orange on the blue hills. I'm telling you, completely at a loss for words. So I'm playing around with the scrapbook ink. I could not find my small ink block, which was making this really hard to stamp down because it's just a big stamp. I ended up doing it pretty successfully, but when I went to cut it, I think I rubbed my hands on it and ended up smearing it, so I had to try again. I was trying to correct some of the mistakes on it with the black pen. So I finally found my smaller ink pad and it works amazing. I'm going to make sure it's dry because this ink pad is very juicy, and that's the scrapbook.com dye ink. And I'm just going to make a little banner and hot glue that on for the Christmas tree. After I use colored payer to just outline it, that's something I love to do to get some more depth. And this one, I'm going to use a different stamp. I didn't want to use the same stamp. I wanted a phrase that was a little bit longer, and some of the phrases for the animal stamps are themed for animals, so I didn't want to use those. I was actually going to use one of the llamas that I've already pre-colored and cut out, but I didn't like them, so I'm not going to use them. So I'm going to use that stamp set and use the season greetings on here to stamp this out. And I had like one try, so I made sure I let my stamp sit there for a couple of seconds before I took it off to make sure it stamped correctly and wasn't going to smudge on me, because that would totally kill me if that happened. So that kind of sums up everything I did, guys. I hope you enjoyed this card and everything. And we're going to get to the process of me talking all the supplies I use, my tips and tricks.
You can see I use this one stamp and I made several different examples. Some that are not Christmassy, just like, oh, you were special, and shake your tail feathers, you know, just like a fun little tags you can put on things. And then some seasonal cards in whatever colors you prefer. That can be just once the base of it is one stamp, and then you add, if you have only like one Christmas stamp, let's say you only have the llama Christmas stamp, and you want to make sure you have a nice background but you don't know what to do, so just this and that, and then whatever color and medium you use. I use watercolors, and this is the one I use. This is a Gonzai Tombow watercolor. This is the 36 pack, I think. I've made a whole video about how I got this for $5. I'll leave a video below if you're interested. It's one of the things I do a lot when it comes to shopping. So those two, bam. And if you want, you can cut that just shape die if you have a shape die. So this and this shape die. If you don't have a shape die, you can just use your scissors and make a shape, or you could just use a square or rectangle or whatever you want. Okay, so this is from AliExpress. I have the dies to this. I'll leave everything below. Okay. Moving on, I use this. Did I use the sentiment stamp at all? No, I didn't use the sentiment stamp at all, actually. So I don't have to show that one. I didn't use it. I bought a sentiment stamp. I didn't end up using it. I did use this thing though. So this is the peacock. I wanted to show you guys. You can see this is the peacock stamp that I used. I'll leave it below. This is from AliExpress, and I use the sentiments on here. So for these cards, I just used the leftover paper that I had from cutting those shapes out. So it was just this and this in glue paper. So that's pretty simple. And I use the sentiments on here. So background, stamp, card, it, or tag, whatever you have. I did use a tag die, but you can just cut out a tag. And then these trees, I use a sentiment stamp. I use this stamp that I had. So I use this stamp just for the sentiment that says season greetings, because I didn't have any other sentiments I wanted to use, because some of those sentiments over there are themed with the animals, so I didn't want to use those. So I use the season greeting on this stamp. This is from AliExpress. I use this die, it has two deers, snowflakes, and trees. And this sentiment. That's it. And then of course another glitter and things I showed you. So it's really as simple as you want it to be. I did a little bit more, but you can really do this really simple and just have fun with it. So if you don't have you only have like one Christmas stamp, or you don't have any Christmas stamps, you can try to, you know, make your Christmas stamps work. If you just have an image of an animal, you can just make a Christmas saying, maybe dress him up, put a hat on him, color him in color schemes, or color the image in color schemes that are fitting with the Christmas colors you're going with. So I hope this video was helpful. I was so excited to do this for you guys. I had a lot of fun, and of course I already had family members claiming my cards to send to other family members that I have. So I hope this was inspirational, and much love, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have a great day. Get crafty.